Just the one mic, guys. So we'll take a show of hands. I'll come to as many views as I can. That's an embargo part of the way through for 1:30 p.m. on Saturday. It will be. Start with Pete, please.
Pep, good afternoon. Watching your body language during that game, you looked like you didn't enjoy most of it. What are the emotions at the moment? You didn't look like you enjoyed most of that game, judging by your body language. What are the emotions at the moment?
No, it's not true. My body language was positive, yes, because the team played really good. I'm not agree.
You looked very frustrated at times, though.
No. We shoot, I don't know how many shoots, and first half was brilliant. The first 10-15 minutes until the penalty was really good. The first time they arrived, they scored a goal at the end. Of course, in the transition, we could suffer the defeat. But we analyze the result. Of course, we are not happy, but the performance that we have done, the guys again, with the situation they were brilliant. Of course, we don't score the goals that we need, but no, I'm not. There are other days like I'm more because I don't see many things I like the way they play, but today was not the case.
When you're not winning games, though, and when you're not trying to catch up the top four, again, does the frustration build when you come off the pitch at the end and see where you might end up tonight? You could be nearly halfway down the table tonight.
Yeah, we'll see. We can.
Someone to go, guys? Yeah, Ty.
Hi, Pep. It felt like the atmosphere inside the stadium and kind of the nervousness got worse after Erling missed that penalty. Is that kind of natural when you're in a run like this, that moment like that happens and the players and the supporters start to think the worst? There's a long time to go, but it almost felt...
Feel something muscular again, so I don't know. The reason why Ederson doesn't feel good, and yeah, the other ones are the same.
Any more today? Any more problems today?
No, we spoke with Nathan. Nathan make an incredible effort. Like I say, thank you so much, and I appreciate it for the effort they have done. Because he was in the verge for the recovery 3 weeks when he needs a little bit more, but the circumstances, the problems that we have, he make an effort, and I said, okay, when you feel the fatigue or feel tired, let us know. And the first part was controlled. The second half was more difficult for the fact that was more transitional games with Calvert-Lewin and after Broja, so had to make an effort, and I said, what cannot happen is injured again, so because we have a game 3 more days later, and this is what I had to do.
Rob?
You just mentioned before about the players maybe needing to bounce back mentally from setbacks that happen within games. Obviously, we've seen them for so many years being able to do that, stay very calm, stay very patient. Do you sense, though, that maybe they're starting to doubt themselves just a tiny little bit because of what's happening results-wise, and then it's...
No, I think we were very patient. I think we played not except the last 2 or 3 actions, like we make a crosses, and look what happened. Almost is a goal against. So I think we were patient. Of course, that is the momentum, the season, the momentum that is a little bit in the situation that everything takes more time to make it work. So, but if your colleague talk about the table, the qualification, I don't have an argument of that. If you ask me about the performance today, so we did what we have done. So when play bad, I'm the same. The press conference said the other were better. We're not good enough. But today was not the case. Against the top team, one of the best in the clean sheet, the chances that we had, and not just the penalty, a lot. And but football is about winning. Football is about you score goals and not concede. And always we have done it. And this season, or this, I would say this last month and a half, we are not able to do it.
The day ends with Wolves against Manchester United and Liverpool at Anfield hosting Leicester. 2 games to come on Friday, but let's look at the table then. Starting bottom half, which is where Everton find themselves. They're improved form, meaning that they got a draw today, and they're up to 17 points now. Just 3 wins from 17, but in 15th position for Sean Dyche and his troops as well. In the drop zone, Wolves, who are in action later today, Ipswich and Southampton, rock bottom of the table. Top of the table, City find themselves now having moved up to 6th place, level on points there with Bournemouth and Aston Villa, but now having played a game more than those 2 who are in action in just a little bit as well. Chelsea, Arsenal, Nottingham Forest into the top 4, and leaders Liverpool clear at the top there with that game in hand still.
Well, Jordan, congratulations. For the 3rd game in a row, you've managed to take a point off one of the so-called big boys. How did you do it today?
Yeah, another grind. I think played some. I think their first goal we had to react. We should be starting probably and not waiting for something to happen to react. So, but we did. We reacted in the right manner. We played some good football and gets us up the pitch, and we get a goal, great goal from Millie, and we showed resilience all the way through.
That's right. It wasn't against the run of play. You were getting back into the game at that point.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I thought we played some good stuff. City started putting the press on, so then we found passes through the lines, and nice pass from Ghana, Diag to Shamey. Then a good bit of play. Hits their play, comes back out, put the ball in the box, give them a headache, and the ball's landed early, and we score the chance.
The penalty save was crucial. A few mind games going on between you and Haaland. Talk us through it.
No, I just do my routine. He'll do his, of course. I knew where I was going to go, and it was just, there's no mind games. I just focus on what I can do. How can I affect the penalty taker? I don't do it too much. I just do my set routine. But yeah, I was confident, go the right way. I'll give myself an opportunity to save, and I have done today, and hopefully that's gained us another point. And
you'll be aware that he tends to score against Everton. That must have been in the back of your mind.
A lot of people do against me sometimes, but no, it's a team effort. It's a great point away from home, Arsenal away, and now Man City away. So it's that momentum shifting, and we look forward to the challenge against Notts Forest on Saturday.
Did you sense that they were a little bit vulnerable?
No, they've not been in great form, but they're a top side. They don't win titles year in, year out for no reason, with mentality and the talent and the ability they have. So today, they could have come out the traps and had a right go against us. They did. We held back. We showed resilience, and it was a good point from our behalf today.
Well done today.
Thank you. Cheers.
Pickford is the first Premier League goalkeeper to save a penalty from Erling Haaland. Was it brilliance from Pickford, or more Haaland just having one of those days again?
I don't want to take it away from Pickford, but I think when we do a run on Haaland, it might be one of those days for him. But it wasn't the greatest of penalties. It gave Pickford, he didn't have to overstretch to save it, but nonetheless, I do want to give Pickford credit. It's not easy to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see the incident that leads to a penalty, and it was clear-cut, I think, for both of you.
Yes, for me, it definitely was, and this is part of the thing that me and Karen highlighted, the wingers being positive, going at that defenders, and he does that, he nicks the ball away, and for me, I said it was a definite penalty because he catches him quite high on the knee.
I think he slips, so at first I thought, okay, this would be curious, but as Sean says, he does catch him on his right knee, so in the end I think it was an easy decision for everyone, and the referee made the decision himself, and then you're thinking, as Sean said, positive start early part of the...
He might have taken the right option there. This one, I thought he was unlucky. He tried to control it across the defender to give himself more time on that left foot, and it ricochets into Pickford's. And this one, I think the ball was maybe a bit too high, or he got underneath it, and that was kind of the running theme today for him. It was just like almost there, and the thing you have to give him is he keeps trying to get himself back in those positions to try and correct time before that. So for me, he's just got to keep. He maybe did wrong the time before that. So for me, he's just got to keep getting himself there.
He's not the first player to have a penalty saved, and he's not the first centre forward to go on a bit of a bad run. But
Dyche's teams, as you know, always got energy to try and make those last effort runs. I think that he makes the wrong decision there in terms of way he attacks, and when it's 4v2 at this level, you expect to have a clean shot at least on the go and make the keeper work. But I think every step that they did there in that attack, for me, was wrong, Kaz.
When you break in, as Sean said, you've got to break full pelt. They just allowed City to get back in shape. That was a big chance.
Yeah, well, we've already heard from one of the goalkeepers today. Let's hear from the other one. Here's Manchester City goalkeeper Stefan Ortega.
Well, just a point today. Did you do enough to deserve all three?
I think so. When you see how we play today in that situation where we are right now, I don't know how many chances we had, how many shots on target, clear chances. I think this is the only thing which we could do better today, like score goals, more than one.
It was a fast start. That's what you were looking for, I guess.
Yeah, of course. We know that we can play quick and good football. The confidence right now is a bit lower than usual. But I think with all the surroundings, we played really good. The goal we conceded, I think was a great finish of the winger there. The corners we defended really well. They're really tough in their set pieces. So I think we just had just a lot of chances to score more goals.
When they equalised, the crowd seemed to get a little bit tense. Did you feel that on the pitch?
I think everyone, because everyone had the feeling we are really good in the game, and then it was one situation where we conceded a goal, but the reaction of the supporters around the team, staff, the bench, was really good, because in the last weeks we normally conceded another goal straight after the first one. So yeah, I think we did, in this case we did well.
You're still right in the middle of a very difficult run. What is it going to take to turn the corner for Manchester City?
Yes, it's easy, score more goals.
Interesting to hear him saying there that everyone was tense the second they conceded the equaliser.
I think what was more interesting as well, that he, instead of saying, sometimes when you score, you've seen City in the past to go the other end and get two, where he was like, thank God we didn't concede any more. So the mindset is already like it's already kind of defensive, and I thought his whole conversation was very interesting, very honest, but very, very interesting on that anxiety piece that you mentioned and not.
And yeah, like I think I've been on those runs where you're just, whatever you do for whatever reason, you just can't win a game, and you could be playing well, and then the team goes down the other end and scores a goal against you, and your head does drop a little bit, or you do get a little bit nervous, because it's like, oh my God, here we go again, sort of thing. But so I think they did the right thing. Of course, they should have won that game. They had the chances to win the game, but I think if you're not going to win a game, you don't want to lose it either. So they'll take the point, and I think they'll take that as a building block and kind of try and move forward with it.
Yeah, they made the best start, really. 14 minutes in, Bernard.
Through the wingers being positive and driving at players and being in 1v1 situations.
And I think you've repeated as well, moving the ball quite quickly.
Yeah, the tempo. You watch City, you know, they're a very controlled team, we know that. They like to build up in possession, and sometimes when you control the ball, you're less likely to give risk and give the ball away. But what it does, it gives teams like Everton and other teams to get back in shape. When they move the ball quick, when they limit their touches, you can't stop them. It's so difficult. And I think the last few weeks, whether it's fatigue, whether it's mental fatigue, whether it's different players, different combinations, they're not moving the ball as quick, and I think it's catching up with them a little bit.
Yeah, at 1-0, City had chances to add, to double the lead, to add a couple more, in fact. They didn't take it. It's Everton that scored the next goal.
Yeah, well, Aki's clearance wasn't the greatest, but even though it isn't, I think Doku can help that on rather than trying to bring it down. But then there's this part here when nobody gets close to Decore there, but you can't take nothing away from that finish. After all of these things, Karen, the finish was unbelievable.
Van Dijk's first touch was outstanding, but you're right, they don't get up to the ball there, no space, too much time, cross comes in, poor defending from Akanji, then that touch, bang, on the half volley as well. So this touch is great, because your first touch always sets you on your way in the final third, and then he just runs onto it and smashes it, and he's got no chance to keep it. But it's a brilliant finish there. So quick the keeper just couldn't even. You have to have a 360 view. When you're a wide player, usually you hug the touchline and you only see 180 what's at the side of you. It's really difficult to play in these tight positions, coming deep. Look, Everton were thinking, thanks very much, it's easy for us.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more, because even in that picture just then, there's options where Savinho is wide, and if you can get that quick switch on, then Everton kind of have to shuffle along, and then he gets his one-on-one opportunity to be positive and maybe trying to create something. But we played a lot into, I would say, Everton's hands in many ways by playing through the middle all the time.
Yeah, the question remains, City, when are they going to get back to winning ways? What can they do? What do they need to do? We've been asking this for about 8 weeks now. And just listening to that Ortega post-match, just seeing the way they reacted out there, just seeing the Haaland penalty save, it's telling me that it's as much up here as it is what's happening on the field of play.
Well, I couldn't say I know, because even Pep's struggling with that part. But I mean, in terms of seeing what I'm watching, obviously you need a little bit of luck, but they just got to keep doing what they're doing and what they know. I think the more they do it and it becomes muscle memory again, like Haaland in those positions, getting more chances for him. Like you could see it change today in terms of the way they were doing things to try and create more a lot more direct in certain plays where you could stretch the back and give him a chance to run onto things. And I think we just need to keep doing that. I think if you're creating that many chances and you're getting shots off, then at one point the penny will fall, and it's just trying to keep clean sheets now, I think.
I think if you look at those fixtures there, okay, you know, Leicester, West Ham, Leicester anyway, you'd expect, okay, we can maybe get some goals because the performance wasn't bad today. They had chances, but you have to take them. Everton was probably not the ideal game playing a Sean Dyche team who were good at that. But those fixtures there are favourable, and what they've also got is the January window where I think he's already said, I'm going to have to say, look, I want to go and get some players and need some players. So over the next few weeks, it'll be really interesting to watch them closely, you know, what happens at the football club. But they need to bring in some energy. But the biggest point, what Sean was alluding to there, is when you're struggling, you have to take your chances.
Yeah.
When you're winning, it's very easy. Your team's struggling, you've got to be clinical in those moments, whether it's one or two, you have to take them. But they weren't that bad, they just didn't take them today, and the other games have got to take them.
We start Boxing Day with a 1-1 draw between City and Everton. Robbie Mustoe, Robbie Earle, Rebecca Lowe with you all weekend. Robbie Mustoe. Anything for Pep to go home tonight and say, no, I haven't even finished the question. We've got a shake of the head.
It was exactly the same, Rebecca. They've lost the zip in their play. They've lost sparkle in their football. They've lost desire, I've got to say. I think it looked like a team that didn't really think they were going to go and score the goal. They have an unbelievable chance, of course, with the penalty kick with Haaland that he's paid to score goals, and that's a disappointing execution of a penalty. It was in the corner. And I think Everton were actually a bad opponent today because they can grind. They've done it the last two games. They've got another point, good point for Everton. I think a little bit more if they'd have been a little bit braver on the counter-attack a couple of times. But City just, like, almost checking out. Like, we'll do our thing, but there's no real desire, determination to get that winning goal.
Checking out, wow.
There was a minute in the last part of the game, Bex, where the two managers were on this touchline and Pep was urging his Man City players to get back. Everton had a 4-on-2, didn't make the most of it. Sean Dyche is urging his players to get forward. We could nick the win. And it kind of sums up where we are. Manchester City home against Everton. Pep's having to kind of cajole these players to try and get them back on side. And there's an anxiety and an anxiousness on the pitch. And it's actually starting to go off the pitch as well. You can hear the fans are a little unsure of what this is. And that's because there's a group of Manchester City fans who've only known winning, who've only known titles and cups and domestic trophies and all the rest of it. And this is new ground for them. This is new ground for the manager. And it's a huge test for Pep Guardiola, the first time in his career.
It's not going to carry on like this. I mean, it's going to get better. It's not going to like this all season because they'll go down.
They've had another injury today as well. Ake looks like he's injured.
They're going to. I think it's going to go. I think it will get a little bit better in certain games, but I don't see them having a crazy run. I think they'll win a few, they'll draw a few, they'll lose a couple. I just think that's the way it's going to be. It's an off season, and they've lost that mojo to go make it anything better than that. I mean, I guess maybe the Champions League is going to be the thing that's going to give them a shake at some point, Bex, to say, like, we've got to finish in the top four. This is crazy.
OK, let's see how the game unfolded then at the Etihad. If you're just tuning in this morning, 3 minutes on the clock. City started OK, Robbie.
OK, yeah. I mean, they had a few opportunities. This is from a set piece that you don't, normally associate City with too many goals from here, but Guardiola does really well. I mean, he's a good attacker. He's got a few goals. He's very unlucky there. Good, solid contact off the post. And they do, of course, go ahead in the game. Bernardo Silva, again, like many others, hasn't had a stellar season. But you just watch him here. He has that licence. He's got that intelligence to run between defenders. I think he's trying to cross that ball. It's a slide in from Branthwaite. It's a little slow to it. You just see it from a different angle here. It's just a clever little bit of movement. Actually, not that much of movement from Bernardo Silva. Just sees a space there. Dockage as well. Just weights it in very, very nicely. And there's a big deflection there. Just kind of spins it towards the goal, and City go 1-0 up.
On 33, Silva had another chance, should have scored this one.
Yeah, this is one that you really would fancy him to score. He's going for the outside of the left foot. That's how he feels comfortable. And actually, when you see the strike's kind of long, but it actually still isn't that far away. But with his quality, yeah, you'd expect him to find a back of the net.
3 minutes later, up the other end, Robbie Earle.
Yeah, and the equaliser comes, and it's well construed from Everton's point of view and well finished. And Jai, when he gets this ball, has got a lot of work to do. One, to control, choose the flick. It's a beautiful finish. And we get a chance to look at it from City's point of view. Just wondering, as Decore gets this ball here, wondering if Kovacic can get a little bit closer. Can he get in the face of a midfield player? He doesn't. Decore gets his chance to get his head up, and when it finds its way to Njai, he gives it the finish it deserves. A beautiful finish. And Pep knows again his team are conceding, they've got problems. Into the second half, they get what would be a lifeline, really. It's Savinho going past Merkelenko, who's already on a yellow card. Has a foul there. The referee points to the penalty spots. It's a clear penalty. See, it's inside the box, but he's contact, he doesn't get the ball. So it leaves Erling Haaland with a chance to finish, to get the goal. There's Pickford, who's very confident. There's Haaland, who looks hesitant. And it's a brilliant save. He goes the right way, the goalkeeper. And then when Haaland does head in the replay, the flag goes up. He's in an offside position. But Pickford, you know, has his drinks cut with telling you which side the players are going to go. There's Haaland in the offside position, so the goal doesn't stand. And the reaction of Haaland and the reaction of Pickford tell you everything about that moment. And in some ways, sums up the game.
Loves the penalty save, don't he, Jordan Pickford? So there you see Manchester City have moved up a place, but just look at Villa, Newcastle, Fulham and Brighton. Conceivably, they're vulnerable to all four of those. Let's have a little look at the bottom half of the table. How's it affected Everton? Will they stay where they are? There is that gap between themselves and West Ham above them. They've still got to look over their shoulder because they are 5 points away from the bottom three, and everybody else, of course, still to play today. So our next